Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's good, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. In today's episode, we're looking at Garchomp. Since last week, we hit the light goal. We completely smashed the light goal, actually. We hit it pretty easily and such. So, today I'm covering another Mega Evolution, and this time I chose to do Garchomp. Also, there'll be a vote for next week's episode. We're going to carry on the Dragon theme for next week, and you can vote for either Dragonite or Salamence. So obviously if you want to see Dragonite covered next week, comment down below saying Dragonite. If you want to see Salamence, comment down below saying Salamence. So I guess we'll just sort of get on with Garchomp then. So, Garchomp is a Dragon Ground type and is number 445 in the National Pokédex and number 8 in the Mountain Kalos Pokédex. It's the Mark Pokémon, and that's related to the fact that it can travel at Mark speeds, I'm pretty sure. It stands at 6 foot 3 inches tall, or 1.9 meters tall, and weighs 209.4 pounds, or 95 kilograms. It's in the Monster and Dragon egg groups, as you might expect, since it's a Dragon type, and it looks like a monster, pretty much. And the gender split is, equal as 50-50 for male and female. Gible will evolve into Gebite starting at level 24, and then Gebite will evolve into Garchomp starting at level 48. So it's not amazingly fast evolving, but it is reasonably fast, especially for some Dragon types which don't evolve to level 60 are gone. Base stats wise, we see Garchomp here has a very high attack stat, reasonably high health point stat too, which is a bit weird for someone that has a high attack stat, but that's pretty decent. Its defense is pretty high too, speed is reasonably high as well, 102, as well as its special defense is mediocre. It's not brilliant, it's okay, and obviously special attack is its lowest stat here, sitting at about 80. So obviously you want to be looking at running a physical Garchomp more than a special Garchomp majority of the time. First up, looking at Garchomp's typing, being a Dragon Ground type, it resists 3 types, Fire, Poison and Rock, which isn't too many to be honest for a Dragon type. Usually Dragon types obviously resist Fire, Grass, Water, stuff like that, but obviously because the Ground type sort of cancels out the Grass and the Water, you're only left with Fire and then obviously a few other types thanks to the Ground typing. Garchomp is also weak to 3 types, being Ice, Dragon and Fairy, so really its resistance weaknesses sort of balance out really. It's obviously immune to electric type moves, being a ground type Pokemon, which is quite nice, and obviously it takes then neutral damage from the rest of the normal grass, water, fighting, flying, ground, bug, ghost, psychic, dark and steel. So really Garchomp isn't going to be resisting a huge amount of moves, it's not going to be weak to a huge amount of moves. Then again, you got to watch out because Fairy moves are really quite common, or Fairy types are common in this generation at least. Ice type moves are fairly common too, especially stuff like Ice Shine, which obviously gets priority, and obviously Dragon type moves are just a general thing to watch out for as well. So its typing is okay. Garchomp has 2 abilities available to it, one of them being Sand Veil, which boosts its evasion in a sandstorm. Now with this ability you need to be careful because I do believe it's banned under Smogon rules. I'm not sure, I think it is, I'm not sure, because obviously it raises evasion in a sandstorm, and evasion clause is obviously very prominent in the meta game. You're not allowed to use double team and whatnot. So you really need to sort of watch out. You could use it, but I don't know if it's banned or not. So, really you want to be going for the hidden ability, which is Rough Skin, which inflicts damage to the attacker on contact. It means if someone attacks you, for example, with Mark Punch, they're going to take some damage as well, which is really quite good because the fact that, if you're getting a physical attacker attacking you, they're going to take some more damage as well, and hopefully that damage they take is then enough for you to be able to take them out from where they are, sort of thing. Looking quickly at Garchomp's moves, or the moves you should be thinking about teaching Garchomp, at level 33 it learns Dragon Claw, obviously a very powerful Dragon type move, it's going to do some decent damage there. Level 48 it can learn Crunch, obviously Dark type move, a bit more stab coverage, good for Psychic types, good against Ghost types as well. TM26 can learn Earthquake, everyone knows about Earthquake, obviously Garchomp gets stabbed from it, which is quite nice. TM38 Fire Blast, this is obviously a special move, and obviously, I keep saying obviously too much, don't I? It will come into play in the Wife Battle setups a bit later on in the episode. TM71 Stone Edge, powerful rock type move, but it does miss every now and again. TM75, which is Swords Dance, obviously powerful, and obviously again raising your attack stat, because that's going to help out in the long term, especially if you use a Swords Dance, like if you have to switch out, you can use a Swords Dance and whatnot. TM84 Poison Jab, this is going to be good for Fairy type Pokemon in case you ever come up against one of them, also it's going to work wonders on grass types and stuff like that. One of the egg moves, or the only egg move we have here, is Outrage, which is obviously another powerful Dragon type move, more powerful than Dragon Claw, but obviously you have to watch out because Outrage is a free turn, you get confused and whatnot, but it can be really quite useful. Tutor-wise, it can learn Draco Meteor, again another special type move, and we will come on to this later on in the episode and you'll see where this sort of comes in. One transfer move as well from Black 2 and White 2, which is Stealth Rock, which is sort of going to be helpful. You could run Stealth Rock on your Garchomp just in case you want to use it as a rock setter as well as attacker. So, looking at Mega Garchomp before we move on to the Wi-Fi setups, it keeps its same typing, Dragon Ground, no change there. Dimensions are exactly the same, I'm pretty sure, 7'3", 1.9, 209.4 and 95 kilograms. The Garchomp height can be found in Victory Road to the left of the Pokemon range that heals your Pokemon. Strength is required to get behind this, and it has to be between 8 PM and 9 PM after upgrading your Mega Ring, so remember all that stuff. Mega Garchomp's ability is Sand Force, which boosts certain moves' power in a Sandstorm, which boosts the power of Ground, Rock and Steel type moves in a Sandstorm, which is really quite nice because especially if you pair it with someone who has Sandstream, you can really get some decent damage off with Mega Garchomp here. Base stats wise, health points stay the same, attack boosts up to 170, which is really high, defense boosts as well to 115, special attack boosts to 120, which is, pretty nice as well. The fact that, your special attack is gained 50, more than attack's gain really, so it's making it a bit more usable in terms of that. Special defense is boosted by 10, not a huge amount, but it's a little boost there, it's not bad. Speed, however, is reduced by 10, so you need to watch out for that because obviously, Mega Garchomp is going to be slower than normal Garchomp. One thing to mention, however, one thing to note, on the first turn, when you Mega Evolve, speed does not apply for the Mega. So, say you send your Garchomp to battle and you Mega Evolve, the speed stat for that turn is calculated using Garchomp's speed stat, not Mega Garchomp. So if you really just want to get a kill, if speed is possibly a thing and normal Garchomp's obviously faster, you can Mega Evolve. You don't have to wait and take them out first. You can Mega Evolve for that. Which is sort of a thing to mention. Obviously, Mega Evolutions that gain the speed boost upon Mega Evolving doesn't apply on the same turn as well, so that's sort of a bonus there, I guess. So, if we move on to the Wi-Fi battling setups for Garchomp, I'm going to look at a couple with normal Garchomp and then a couple with Mega Garchomp. So, this one is a normal Garchomp. First off, we have Earthquake, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, and Dragon Claw. Ability is Rough Skin, as I've said, you just want to use that ability there. Nature can be Adamant or Jolly, whether you want a speed. Generally, Jolly is better, but obviously if you're just wanting some more power rather than a bit more speed, you can go for the Adamant. Held item here, I've put Choice Band or Choice Scarf. Choice Band for more power if you're going for a Jolly set. Jolly's Choice Band might be good, or an Adamant Choice Scarf, And also put Assault Vest there as well, in case you want to try it out with Assault Vest, because its defenses aren't that bad, so you could try out being a bit more defensive, a bit more bulky, and obviously we're using 4 attacking moves here, so you don't have to worry about getting rid of some status moves and whatnot. EV, to put maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in health points, which is your general spread for Garchomp. So really here there's not much to say. Earthquake and obviously Dragon Claw are going to get your stabs. Poison Jab and Stone Edge are just support moves. Poison Jab for fairy types, Stone Edge for anything you can't hit with Earthquake or Dragon Claw, like a flying type or a fairy flying type or something like that. And I don't really think I need to say much more for this setup. It's really basic, just go in, Choice Band, Choice Scarf. Band's going to make you more powerful, Scarf's going to make you faster. As I've said, you could pair a Jolly with a Choice Scarf, or you could pair an Adamant with a Choice Band for the extreme power or the extreme speed. It's really just up to you. Test the sets out, see which one works best for you, see which one supports the rest of your team better, and really, yeah, that's up to you, really. The next set is a rock set. It's setting up Stealth Rocks as well. So obviously the moveset here is Stealth Rock, Outrage or Dragon Claw. Then we got Fire Blast, Swords Dance, Stone Edge or Poison Jab, and then Earthquake finally. Ability is Rough Skin. Nature here this time is Jolly, definitely, because you want to get the speed off. Held item here is a Focus Sash, and the EVs are maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in health points. So obviously the Jolly nature here is going to allow you to be faster and set those Stealth Rocks up. So you sort of get the Stealth Rocks straight up. Hopefully you'll be faster than the opposing Pokemon, meaning you can get Stealth Rocks up straight away, without any opposition. The Focus Sash is going to allow you to survive one attack, so hopefully if you're faster than them, you can get the Stealth Rocks up and then go for an attack yourself. Outrage or Dragon Claw depends on your choices. Obviously Outrage, if you just want to go and use the Stealth Rocks and just completely sack Garchomp off, use it as a suicide lead, you can go for the Outrage, probably better, but you have to be careful because obviously if there are any Fairy types on the other team, Outrage is a big risk because if you use Outrage they can just easily switch into a Fairy type, get a free switch and then get a whatever they want next turn, and just do damage to you, which is one thing you really need to watch out for there. Then we have Fire Blast, Swords Dance, Stone Edge or Poison Jab. It's up to you really. If you want to use it as a bit more conservative than a suicide lead, you could go for the Swords Dance. If you just want to go for the suicide lead though, you might want to carry a Stone Edge, Poison Jab or Fire Blast. Fire Blast isn't going to do as much damage because we haven't got any special attack investment. Obviously we're using Jolly nature rather than something that wouldn't reduce special attack, so Fire Blast might not be a brilliant choice in this case, but you could run it just for a bit more coverage. Obviously then Stone Edge and Poison Jab are other options there too. Earthquake finally is again another of your stabs, so we don't have to say much about there. As I mentioned, the Focus Sash is going to allow you to survive 1 turn at least, which is quite nice, and obviously if you're faster than the opponent, you can get 2 attacks off. And apart from that, you know, same EV spread, maximum attack, maximum speed, rest and health points, there's not much else to say. Okay, so this time it's a general Garchomp setup. It's a general physical Garchomp setup. It includes Mega Garchomp. We'll talk about that in a second, I guess. Moveset is Swords Dance, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and then Stone Edge or Poison Jab. Ability being Rough Skin. Nature being Adamant or Jolly. Jolly is the usual one, but really, you know, you have to see. Held item is a Life Orb or a Garchompite. If you don't want to use it as a Mega Garchomp, you know, if you've already got Mega on your team, but you still want to use Garchomp, you can use the Life Orb on this set, and that still works pretty well. If you're using that set, I recommend a Jolly Nature. If you're using the Garchomp, Mega Garchomp set rather, I'd recommend an Adamant Nature, because obviously you're going to get slowed down when you Mega Evolve, so you might want to think about actually going for the power. And then the EVs are maximum attack, maximum speed, rest and health points. There's not a whole lot to say for this. Obviously if you switch Garchomp in and force a switch, you can go for a Swords Dance straight off the bat, get your attack raised, which is obviously going to help you in the later on in the battle and for whatever comes out next. And then you've got Earthquake or Dragon Claw, which is going to give you some nice powerful sort of choices for stab moves. And then you got the last choice being Stone Edge or Poison Jab. I'd recommend Poison Jab because Stone Edge is less accurate. Poison Jab can go against fairies and whatnot, so I'd recommend Poison Jab, but Stone Edge is a possibility as well. Adamant or Jolly I've mentioned, you know, Adamant for Mega Garchomp, Jolly for the Life Orb, and there's not much else to say for this. It's generally just going in, Swords Dancing if you can, and then just doing as much damage to the opponent as you can. Finally for today we have it's a mixed Garchomp. You don't see it too often, but it's a mixed Garchomp set, Mega Garchomp set as well. Moveset is Swords Dance, Draco Meteor, Earthquake, and then Fire Blast, Stone Edge, or Poison Jab. Ability this time is Rough Skin. Nature is Hasty or Naive. Held item is Garchompite, and the EVs are maximum special attack, 240 in speed, and 16 in attack. So really, it looks a really strange set at the start. Okay, so obviously you have the Mega Garchompite, or the Garchompite to Mega Evolve your Garchomp, which is quite nice. It's going to allow you to get some more damage off. The really thing you want to do here is you want to switch in, you want to force a switch on them. Okay, and then they will usually go to a physical wall, because obviously that thing is going to be able to take Garchomp's attacks much more easier than any other Pokemon they have. So you could either, for when they switch the physical wall, you could either go for the Swords Dance, and get the free Swords Dance off, or you can go straight for the Draco Meteor. The thing a Draco Meteor is going to do is, obviously if it's a physical wall, it's not going to be as much of a special wall. So that's going to allow you to get a powerful Draco Meteor off. Obviously it's going to lower your special attack, but since we also have Swords Dance, Earthquake and whatnot, we can carry on. You know, we can carry on. It's not like we have to switch out after we've used this attack, which is quite nice, yeah? And obviously that's going to do some decent damage there. Or you could go for the Swords Dance, as I said, and sort of feign that you're a physical attacker, sort of with the Swords Dance, whereas if you go for the Draco Meteor straight off the bat, they're going to realise that you're either a mixed or a special Garchomp, whereas if you go for the Swords Dance, it sort of fakes them into thinking you're actually probably physical. Nature-wise, looking at nature, the Hasty is going to reduce your defense and increase your speed, Naive is going to reduce your special defense and increase your speed. So the choice of that is really whatever you want. We can't reduce special attack or attack because obviously we're mixed, so we have to either reduce defense or special defense, and that's going to put you at more of a disadvantage there, but really it's worth it in the end, because obviously you're going to get some more power off. Held item, don't even need to mention that's Garchompite. EVs, we're putting maximum special attack so you can get the powerful Draco Meteor off. 240 in speed, so we have the speed there, and 16 in attack just to give attack a bit more boost. The reason we're boosting special attack more than physical attack is because Mega Garchomp's special attack is already, it's lower than the normal attack. So obviously using the EVs there and whatnot allows us to push them up so they're fairly similar. Whereas attack's already got a base 170, so it doesn't need that much improvement sort of thing. So you can go for the Draco Meteor, and then obviously you can just go for whatever you want. The choice of the bottom move there, Fire Blast, Stone Edge, or Poison Jab. Fire Blast could be used because then you could just use the Fire Blast as they switch. If you could predict a switch to something like a grass type, you could go for Fire Blast there. But obviously if you're running Draco Meteor and you're going to go for the Draco Meteor straight off the bat, you don't really want to run Fire Blast because your special attack is going to be reduced, and then what's the point in using the Fire Blast anyway? So you could then put Stone Edge or Poison Jab. Again, I'd recommend Poison Jab because of the higher accuracy and stuff against fairies and that, but obviously Stone Edge could be powerful as well against other types of Pokemon. But yeah, as I mentioned, that's really just how to use this set. Switch in Draco Meteor or Swords Dance, or possibly Fire Blast if you could predict the switch, and then sort of run through their team with a Swords Dance, or whatever you can really get off from this Pokemon. You got to go how it goes. You got to go with the flow, guys. So, I think this is probably it for this episode of the Pokemon DataDex. We've covered Garchomp in enough detail, I think. Obviously, as I mentioned at the start of the video, be sure to vote for either Dragonite or Salamence in the comment section below, so I know which Pokemon you guys want to see next week, and obviously I'll be covering them then. So, guys, also don't forget to smash that like button. We hit a good like goal of 500 likes or so last week. So, if we could keep sort of the like ratio up like that'd be awesome, especially for when we get around to the more evolutions, and I might even increase the like goal then. So you'd have to work that a bit harder, guys. But apart from that, I think that's pretty much it, guys. As I mentioned, check out the other videos on LumioseStation and also my channel if you feel like it. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.